We play with the people, and let me give you this simple analogy to kind of wrap that up. When I go and have an abscess tooth and I want to go to the doctor and I'm looking for the dentist who's going to fix my problem, okay? There are people who will go and say, hey, can I get in? And he's going to say, yeah, sure. And I'll get you in an hour. It'll be $300. They're going to say, oh, okay, is that what you can do? He's going to say, well, I could do it in 10 minutes for $500. Oh, no, I can't pay that much. Can't pay that. So the people who are at 300 in 1 hour are typically people who are selling 10, 20 to $30 products in Amazon. What I want is the 10-minute solution to pay $500. And many people do too. In fact, millions of people will pay that. Okay. Because they want that solution. They want it solved. They don't want the pain anymore. They don't want the headaches. They want it done. Okay. So we're at a different level of selling in the marketplace, which has given us a different level of profitability, longevity, sustainability, and actual business building with profits. And that's very, very important, right? Should sell that product. Once you validate with your sourcing agents and manufacturing that you can hold the price point, you should sell that product. It's really not more complicated than that. Finding those products is a little bit of a process. Virtual assistants can be taught to go with data tools, data mining tools. Some of you may have heard of these, maybe not. There's things like Helium 10, there's Jungle Scout, there's Phoenix from Sixleaf. And they go and they data mine that and show you that data that you're looking for your competition. So you can gain, an 80% understanding of that product and estimated sales and profitability and how you're going to compete with them in the marketplace, right? Remember, again, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, cash flow is king. So we're going to make sure that we look at the profit line so that we have great cash flow. It's all that matters. If I can get better profit and cash flow than my competitors, I'll go to market against them because now I know it's just a matter of time for me to up all their customers. If they have $10 in profit and I can come in with 20, I'll spend $19 of that buying up all their customers until my average costs come down. It took me 30, 60, 90 days to do it. And I dominate the market and become the lead player. Why? Because my average order value, which is referred to the amount a person buy of my product in a certain amount of time, will go through the roof. They'll buy that first product, but then they'll also buy a second and third product at full profit. We can track those metrics, right?
Interesting.
So I can go in and just
start tying the products in together.
Start tying the products together. So the goal then is that 5x5 you mentioned with that game plan is to go in and systematize the product research component, the sourcing agent component, which we have all these sourcing agents working for us now, to validate those sheets and then literally just produce a project launch cost that we either say yay or nay or reorder and launch that one, literally. Because the process is just going through that plan. The goal of putting 5 products in the market inside of your brand for a couple of different reasons. One, you need more than that to lower your risk. 5 should just be the beginning amount of SKU you have in the marketplace. It lowers your risk as you put more in the marketplace. Okay. It's also more products make you more money at the end of the day. Okay. And Amazon actually rewards brands and they're rewarding a lot more. In fact, they just killed 15.4 billion in revenue. You can go look this up online. From over 50,000 sellers in the Chinese side that they moved out of this to get rid of fraud and other things. And then they moved out about another 200,000 who were doing buyer networks, fake reviews. They had secondary accounts. They were just jacking and messing with the system. It took down about 15 billion in revenue to clear that out. So there are huge opportunities now that were not there just months ago.
How about that?
Yeah, huge opportunities, things opening up, just incredible. To put those products into brands because Amazon is wanting you to be brand driven and it's starting to kick everybody out who is not playing by brand rules, who is not brand trademarked, who isn't brand registered in the system.
It's nice to hear.
Yep. But when you're doing this, they give you things like sponsored brand advertising. Okay. These sponsored brands, they let you, they could even tie you into the marketing. You could get in their, prime email blasts. They can even advertise you on ESPN. We've had our product show up there. You can do very shortly email blasts to your customer. You weren't be able to, couldn't do before. Retargeting options and targeting option brands that weren't there before. So they're becoming very brand centric, which is cool. And it's finally a great way to see that evolve. So again, you asked about the 5. It literally just is a component of ensuring that you have a systematized amount of products that are going in. The other 5 in that 5x5 is that each of those 5 are just averaging 5 sales a day across all of them. Why? Because with the profit margins we're talking about, you can have $100,000 in profit a year when you extrapolate those numbers. Okay.
So just 5 products equals 100,000 of profit a year.
Just 5 products.
And that's to the business owner. Wow.
Profit to the business owner, right? So that's how you make 100,000 a year in this business. So in the process of extrapolating that and systematizing it and going quarter by quarter product launches, continuing to adapt your brand, The example here would be I sell a higher end bike seat. I don't do the cheap Chinese 29 or, hurt your butt seat. I'm doing the gel padded, with the hole in the middle, don't crunch and munch your goodies seat that costs you $69. And it's the stuff I'm going to ride up the back of Pike with, right? But then once I get you to buy that, I'm going to sell you the high end panniers and maybe the $250 version of those, right? For protecting
You're talking to the right guy. That I've ridden a lot of miles in my life.
You say, the right calipers, the right brakes. You got to have the better lights. Absolutely. You want the right hand grips. You're going to get the right, gloves. You're going to get the right gear. All of a sudden, your order value is going through the roof for me. And my brand is continuing to put products in front of you that you like, right? And you're coming back and buying more of those products you like, and you're getting all the other components that go with it. So that's that vertical I talked about a minute ago, right? Lock into that vertical and just keep feeding that vertical more and more of your brand. People will come back in a quarter or come back in less than 90 days and buy again. You can even have them on subscribe and save. So they'll be purchasing regularly from you. And that builds that continuity into the business with that profit, right? And that cash flow, which is really king. So there's a lot to unpack and all that. There's a lot of things I didn't say, which some people are like, didn't he say this? Like, I know there's there's other things in there, including like how to even get people to see your products in the system. We'll maybe have to unpack that later, but it's, Amazon's a river, but it's also a tree. And that kind of goes back to that knowledge management component, that search engine, that filing system they're running about how to show you products and how some products are more relevant and why they show frequently bought, and how do I actually get customers to see them and rank them correctly and actually get my going. That's all kind of tied into the technical component of that. But it's all keyword driven. So you're aware it's all keyword driven, which means people are very specific about what they're looking for. Remember, all things to all people in 30 seconds or less. And when you lock into some of those great keywords, there's a lot of profit behind them.
So everything you said, I'm sure people are listening. I'm sure people's heads are spinning like, well, this sounds great, but like, what does that mean for me? And the day we spoke, I was in the middle of reading a book. It's called Idea to Execution. And in that book, they talk about optimize, automate, and outsource. And I'm a big systems guy. I always try to figure out, my son even said, he's like, Dad, you're always trying to figure out how to make things more efficient. I was like, well, optimize, son. And then I'm always looking for systems. And Neil, your company has actually put together this really optimize, automate, and outsource to help people build these businesses. Is that right?
Yeah, we have a thing called Amazon Account Management Services, VAMS, as we refer to it for sure. And it's the ability to gain operational independence from your business before you exit it. We refer to it as the platinum principle. You may have heard of the golden parachute in the corporate world, and that is, you do all your years and you bail out, get your jet, your house, and go
65,
off. Yeah, and you're gone and great, but not everybody can do that. With the platinum principle, it gives everybody the opportunity to create a business that is worth more in the end when you sell it than at any time during the business building phase. So when we build these businesses, we build great foundations of business, and then we put great brands on top of them that are profitable, and it creates a whole profitable business that can actually be exited. It's a legacy play. It's an exit play. It's a very good monetary play for capital, time, and money you're putting into a business. It's actually worth something. So we have the ability to automate those for individuals who come in and be business builders with us. We give them the capability of creating operational independence before they exit, which is takes over the full account management, making it a completely done for you solution. Once that brand is up and running, that we know the upside potential of that business. We know the exit potential. We know that in 18 to 24 months, that business could be worth 3x to 4x its revenues, its profits. So we know that market is really taking this by the horn. In fact, in the last 18 months, $6 billion in capital has been deployed to buying Amazon FBA channel only businesses. It's one of the greatest amounts of money I've seen in the last 20 years being deployed into one area this fast.
And you've seen some pretty big areas.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Internet.
It's going like gas. Crazy. Yeah. It's going like, there's like a little bit of the tech bubble, right? The difference is it's a commodity-based business because you're actually, leveraging into inventory as a physical asset, but you're using Amazon's platform and infrastructure, which is a bit virtual because it's virtual real estate in their platform that you're gaining control of physical inventory. So it's a cool little bit of hybrid going on there, right? Unlike a traditional brick and mortar retail store. So it gives you that opportunity to create that. And as a buyer of these companies, as we set this up to bring in home offices and other brokerages and people who are interested in buying these companies, we help our business leverage those relationships to exit. So they have a smooth transitional path from start to exit, literally. We can help them.
So you help business builders figure out the products, build the business behind it,
correct,
develop the strategy to exit, and then actually provide
actually provide the pre-exit, which is a little bit of the reverse of the way most people would see an exit. You typically would build it up. You would have some components of automation and operational independence, and then you go to the exit, at which point you're going to try to reverse yourself out of the company. You may look at I got 70% now, 30% in the next 5 years kind of thing. What we're doing of inverting that. We're innovating against it, meaning that we are exiting the people from the business, creating all of that operational component and literally handing it to an investor and saying, here, it's independent. Wow. Here's its profits. Here's, you want to take it on. Here's who's going to manage it. Do you want to buy this company? And it literally is for them to just purchase.
So Neil, what's the best way for people to find out about your business if they want to get involved? What is it? What's it called? How does this work? How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, in simple terms, you can go to voltagedm.com. That's VOLTAGEDM, voltagedigitalmedia.com. You could link it if you want. Go check out my LinkedIn if you want to determine if I'm serious or not. You'll see my partners are. I didn't mention, Reed is one of my long-term partners, good friend of mine, and who has come into the business in the last year. Kevin Harrington, you might know him from the Shark Tank and as seen on TV. He's a partner in our company as well, and helping to coach and mentor people. So we got a really strong team of support. He's brought his son in, who is very good and handles a lot of his operations. And we also have Brandon, who's a 2-time Emmy Award-winning videographer for a Success in the City series that he's doing right now, where he goes around and interviews people in the cities about their success. Very cool team, very good group of people, very, very smart. Again, dumbest guy in the whole room of super smart people, which is cool. So I'm enjoying that because these guys are really good. But if you're interested, you can check out a free video. It goes a little more in depth. There's just it's almost like a training video. It's just 90 minutes where I go in and kind of break this all down a lot more. And that's free to watch. You can sign up on the site. And then when people are interested in talking to me, they just text me. Literally, I make it really simple. I'm only looking for a few people. This is not for everybody. It's for those who are really wanting to build businesses first, and they're interested in e-com, and they're thinking, hey, how to deploy cash in a different way. Maybe I'm into infinite banking, or I'm doing multi-tenant real estate, or I own franchises in other ways, and I'm looking to open up different deploy capital that at some point I don't have to run every component of the business, right? And that's kind of how we've structured this. You guys can go check that out. And definitely, you can look. My last name is TWA. If you Google me, you're going to find me and the former TWA Airlines.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah. Can't miss me on one of the social networks. And
we will link all this in the show notes. Sure. And,
all right.
And then Neil, we're going to figure out a way to bring you back here.
Excellent.
And look at getting some more information out there to the audience. So thank you so much for everything you provided today. We appreciate everything you share with the audience. Bring a different business idea than anybody else that's been on the show so far. Neil Twa, thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you having me on, man.